What's up, fam of Liberty? It's your boy BigSarge, the Dungeon Daddy, and now that I got my little rant about my shirt out of the way and still collecting mouth-breathing oxygen thieves in the comments on that video, I'm working out the time to do this overdue first aid kit video. Special shout out to the real MVP, Fam of Liberty member Mongoose, who put together this kit and then sent it to me to take to the protests. As a side note, I do have my own IFAC individual first aid kit that's custom tailored to my skill sets and training, but that's not the point. This is one that any reasonably informed person can do, and someone more skilled than you or me can take over from there if necessary. So, whilst you can spend a lot of money on a first aid kit, and they can be pretty comprehensive, as I noted in my protest gear video about 2 weeks ago, this kit is in that sweet spot which most people can afford, and it's better than the cheap box of garbage from Walmart and the $400 rescue bags on Amazon. This is a decent kit for a day protest or even a camping trip that will deal with most minor injuries and give you the information to help until professionals arrive to do what you can't. First thing we're going to do is notebooks and pencils or pen. This should be a no-brainer. It's used for collecting relevant information about the injured person, the injury, and what you did for it. You can read this off to professional medics or rescue personnel if needed, or to recall what happened later. You can also mark them. 5x9 compress bandages and similar are used to help stop bleeding from wounds such as lacerations, abrasions, burns, and penetration wounds. Covering large wound padding can be used as padding or to back up a gauze compress. Wiping blood can be used to quickly wipe blood from a wound, etc. And that includes 4x4 and 3x3 gauze wound dressing or wound prep for bandaging. Personal advice is to use them directly on a wound. If you have a better choice, such as a compress or a non-stick bandage, gauze has the tendency to stick. Next thing, band-aids. These should go without saying for small cuts and wounds. Better to get the name brands because the really cheap ones don't stick well, or sometimes they stick like super glue. Either way is not very good. Ungood. Medical tape. It's used to tape down bandages or the end of gauze or myriad of other uses not limited to medical uses. Please don't tape up your posters. Antibiotics such as triple antibiotic ointment like bacitracin or neosporin. Use these on cuts and splinters. Don't use them on large open wounds or someone with a sulfa allergy. Hint, hint, that's something that you should write down. Always make sure that the wound is clean. Use iodine or rubbing alcohol. This is very important if they have an allergy. Oh yeah, found it, Bactine spray. Which leads me to alcohol wipes or antiseptic wipes, which I can't find. These are used for cleaning minor wounds and aid tools like your scissors. Mylar or space blankets, they have many uses, but they're mostly used to get someone warm if, say, they get soaked with cold water from police hoses during the winter time. Cold packs. These can be used for knots and goose eggs or trivial bumps on the head or bruises on the limbs. Be wary about using them on burns. Hot packs, they're hand warmers basically. Fucking hand warmers. Every camping kit should also have those. Latex gloves help to not spread microorganisms or contamination by dirt and blood and whatever else. Hydrocortisone or Benadryl. This is used for rashes due to an allergy or an irritant such as poison ivy. Vet wraps or adhesive wraps, better than gauze or wrap over bandage for sprains and splints. Triangular bandages, they have many uses up to and including as a sling for an arm or wrist injury. You got tools such as bandage scissors or trauma shears or stuff like that. You can include a set of tweezers to pull splinters. You might want to include a first aid booklet. This can be as comprehensive as you want, but you should have it in your kit. And this will help you by giving protocols for things, warnings, and step-by-step instructions. And then you want to have like a bag or a backpack to put everything in. This one was provided to me by Mongoose. It's got a cute little red cross on it. Some optional things that you can include: a rescue breathing or CPR one-way mask to keep puke and bodily fluids out of you and get a better seal to help them maintain breath. Narcan is for opioid overdose. Watch a video on this before you do it. If you're allergic to bee stings, bring a bee sting kit. Include it anyway, even if you're not. If you're asthmatic, bring an inhaler. Bring at least 20 ounces of water for dehydration. You can get a blood pressure cuff, whether automatic or with a stethoscope, for getting vitals. There's a thermometer. Use your creativity, but if you're not qualified or trained, don't pack and use an item. This is a very basic first aid kit, but try to get to know it and the items that it's stocked with. Read a first aid manual that you should include and make that available in your kit. And if not one that we provide, then ones there's like hundreds that are available, and they're like free and low cost online. For Sons of Liberty and for Mongoose, I'm Admin Tim, and everybody be safe and don't do dumb shit and make it home safely after the protests. BigSarge out here. And now it's time for the throw punch!